DJ Khaled, we the best season as return. Cause I'm out here grinding. I do this for the streets, the runners. Cause I'm out here grinding. I don't care what nobody say, I'ma be me. Stay hood, stay raised in the streets. Niggas talk about greatness whenever they speak about me. Cause I'm out here grinding. I ain't splitting nothing with nobody, homie, I gotta get me. I ain't slipping 8 days, I can go for 8 weeks. Ain't nothing to me, cause I am
everybody. This is Sam's League, the podcast. This week, it's me, your host, Sam Schmucker, a.k.a. Commissioner Hitler, to Chris Goggin and Brendan McNichol. Again, the regime won't change. I don't care what name changes happen. I'm joined this week by my second in crime here, number 2, Dan Fallon. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. Glad to be back.
And our guest on this week is Cole Trickel, who's currently driving somewhere in the back hills of West Virginia. Cole, welcome on. You had the biggest score of the week last week. I thought you were going for the record, but unfortunately, no. What do you have to say to everybody?
I mean, it really shouldn't be any surprise to anyone. It's what I do. I just score fantasy points and, do cool stuff. So
it's a big surprise to everyone.
Really no surprise. I wasn't surprised. No one in the league should be surprised. All of the other citizens in the United States shouldn't be surprised.
I mean, right now you sit at 2-3. Earlier this week, you proclaimed yourself the best 2-3 team in the history of fantasy, which I won't confirm that for sure. I think that's a little bit of a boast, but we'll see if you can keep it up. Yeah. 167 will help every week. You currently have the high score of the year. And like I said, when I said the record, he actually got within 11 points. The record is 178, set by Brendan. Holy shit, 5 years ago, against our very own Dan. But yeah, so you were 167.42. He was 178. So
however,
congratulations on that.
As I like to always mention in these cases, I still have the biggest blowout in league history by beating Jack's team by 101 points.
Yep. Congratulations, Dan, when we were using kick return yards for points. So kudos to you.
Irrelevant. He got to use them too.
You use the system for good. It doesn't matter. So let's get through it. Let's get through our quick hits. Unfortunately, the lead, the head of the, I don't know what you call him, but Chris is in the league right now at 4-1, followed closely by number 2. Kind of surprising is LeBron James. Good team wins through and through. Sits at 4-1. Can't take that away from him. Then it's Jack at 3-1-1. We'll get into that game in a little bit, and then who came in 4th? I think Gruesome Twosome dropped to 4. So there's your top 4 for the week. Jack is still leading points. He actually upped his point total per game by about 5 to 124 per game. And even though I raised my point total from 6 points to 76.74, I'm still bringing up the rear. Jack actually has, despite having the highest points for, he also has the highest points against at 117.78. And our very own Dan Fallon still has the best defense of the year, averaging 81.72 against. I want to see who has – oh, holy shit. Oh, never mind. So Dan's – we got 408 against. Number 2 is LeBron James with 436. So he's within 28. And then third is McNichol at 451. I'm 459. And Dick Picks is 460, bringing out that lower tier points against. So shout out to us. Hopefully the defenses keep up this week and we go forward. As of last week on Tyler's unqualified predictions, he was 10-14-1. After a brutal 1-5 week, he's now sitting at 11-19-1. Dan, why don't you take us through his predictions for this week?
Yeah, I'll make it quick because it's absolutely ridiculous. He's saying to start Ben Simmons. All right.
Wrong sport.
So he says start Teddy Bridgewater, which actually, you know what, isn't his worst kind of decision because it's a little bit of an out of the blue streaming quarterback type thing. So not random. Stephon Diggs. So Bill, might as well get Stephon Diggs in your lineup.
Back in the
Jordan
starters.
Howard. So Cole, thank God I'm playing you this week because you have Jordan Howard in. If Tyler's predicting a good week, well, he's got a 1 in 6 chance of getting it wrong. So, or 5 in 6 chance of getting it wrong. Sorry.
He's pretty high.
For his sits, I actually got very angry at this because, again, I don't think anyone's considering starting any of these people this week.
Dan was screaming about this pre-show to us, so it was he got heated. But Baker
pre-show meeting did not go well. But
no.
Baker Mayfield, who normally don't start someone who gets -2 points the week prior and hasn't really done anything all season.
Oh, you don't think about the facts?
I mean, just
coming off the kissing disease.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's his spleen's going
to Murray, who again, like people are not starting Latavius Murray week in week out because I don't know. I mean, I just don't get it. Whatever. But good luck to Tyler. He's probably going to go 3 for 3 with his sits this week, so probably bring his percentages up.
I really thought. Okay, so fun fact for you: through 5 weeks, over under Latavius Murray has 25 points on the year.
Under, because he hasn't gotten in the end zone yet.
Yep, he's at 18.6. It's through 5 weeks. He's averaging below 4. If you were considering starting him, you should not be owning a fantasy team. So shout out to Tyler for the great insight as always. Cole, let's get to the best thing you saw last week. Why don't you walk us through it?
The best thing that I saw last week was from my very own team. 167 is very impressive. I think everybody should note the incredible feat that was 167. I think we should talk about it a little bit more. I think we should talk about it for a couple more weeks, and I think that it may go down in league history as the second best performance of all time.
Oh, wow. I disagree on that.
Questionably the first, depending on how you look at those 11 points.
How would we look at them otherwise?
I think
was that pre-kickers getting neutered? You might have more points if you're what were you looking at last week? Let's see. Continue on. I will update you in a second.
No, I just think it was pretty incredible, and I think everybody should congratulate me and send me a text message, maybe a separate email, and just let me know.
Pretty sure Rob Barotis had 18 points that week.
How incredible of a manager and owner I am, and governor, and just pat me on the back a little bit.
I will say Christian McCaffrey looks like the best number 2 pick of all time, only behind Trent Richardson. So congratulations there.
The last time I selected number 2, I believe, was about 4 or 5 years ago. I selected Michael Vick. Not good.
Was that you and Aunt Sant collaborating?
No, I think that was 2010. I drafted Mike Vick second overall.
I think you took him first. Cool.
I really do think you took him first.
The last time I selected second.
I'm 100% positive. We were doing an 8-man league, and you took him first.
I wish I had the draft orders. I might actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
We'll get into that.
I'll check through the archive.
A history episode later on. Best thing I saw this week was last week's guest, Bill Darcy, getting absolutely mollywopped.
I don't think anyone's talked more shit on an episode yet to turn around and just get dick slapped.
Yeah, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. He put up a lot of points, but he lost.
He lost. He had the biggest blowout of the week.
Yeah, who did he lose to?
Chris. No, to Cole.
To Cole? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Congrats, Cole. That's the only reason I'm happy you won, because that kid came on and talked so much shit. He deserved to get his shit kicked in.
Yep. Wholeheartedly agree.
I'm hearing that people are saying, should Ryan be brought into the fold after the just futile effort that was put forth by the squad this week? Just no direction from the head of that organization over there at the Crusaders.
It looked, to be perfectly honest, it looked like a Big 12 matchup. Lots of scoring, lots of downfield running, little to no defense. I think you guys almost scored. No, I think you guys scored over 300. No, never mind. Excuse me. You guys put up 290 points between the two of you. So that's what I like to call Big 12 matchup. So congratulations, Cole, on winning the Red River Shootout. Kyle, would you like to say hi? Bags. So that's Kyle's weekly corner. So the best thing I saw this week. Kyle doesn't know the first thing about it. So, but the best thing I saw last week was the first tie in the fractional point system ever. And the best part about it was the person who was clamoring for it most, Alex Libator, his kicker hit one of 3 missed field goals. We wouldn't even be talking about this. Thank you, Robbie Gould. Thank you for taking Alex behind the woodshed and putting him down.
League elder.
Alex. A league elder. And I love – so the only way you can tie is if the two quarterbacks have the same within 5 yards of each other. So if one of them throws 12, one of them has to throw like either 12, 17, 22, whatever. They have to have 2 and 7, 1 and 6, 3 and 8, 4 and 9, 5 and 0. And the fact that that actually happened and everything else lined up as perfectly as it did is beautiful. So shout out to Robbie Gould for really making our dreams come true. But yeah, so let's get into previews for week 6. Dan, you start us off. It's number 2 versus number 12. Dempsey versus me. The spread right now is 92.63 to 86.25. He did have Evan Ingram in all day, and I was really hoping he wasn't going to check because he got ruled out. But he switched him out for Jimmy Graham, so he's got a 6-point favorite. Dan, walk us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, Sam. So Dempsey's having himself obviously a great year, 4-1, led by Deshaun Watson, who's having a great season. Tyler Lockett's had a good season. Other than that, I mean, the team isn't anything too crazy.
I mean, he has Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton as well. Yes, I was getting down there. Cortland Sutton as well, and actually Evan Ingram. Now that I say it, is not in the lineup, but has had a great season too. So, good team. Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins should really go off in this game, and I expect him to. With probably about 45 to 50 points combined between the two of them. I really wouldn't be shocked. However, outside of Tyler Lockett, I mean, everyone else on the team, I really don't see having great games. Sutton should have a decent game. Tennessee's a pretty solid defense, but they've struggled the past couple weeks against the pass. So Sutton should have a decent game. However, I don't like Miles Sanders in this one. I don't like Devonta Freeman too much in this one. I think they're actually going to be having to pass to move the ball against Arizona. Sam, you got a good team for this week with Sony Michel. Sony Michel might have 150 yards and 5 touchdowns tonight. Vance McDonald should have a good game. You're relying a lot on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill plays. I think it should be an easy victory for you. If not, it's going to be tough. But I like Sam's team. I like Gardner Minshew to have a decent game. And let's go with Sam in this one. 86.24 to LeBron James scoring 77.64.
Okay. Cole, thoughts? Can I get a prediction on score?
Sorry, Sam, I wasn't paying attention.
Who do you think is going to win, me or Dempsey? Give me a score.
LeBron James, noted great drafter. Typically
no. Was it noted great drafter? I forget what it is. We'll come back to it. Self-proclaimed. No, I think it wasn't self-proclaimed. It was a what the hell? Tremendous drafter by Yahoo. But I can't remember the adjective they used.
Well, whatever. Top 12 drafter of all time.
Yep.
Has a pretty good chance to take this one home this week. However, just because it's a good chance doesn't mean it's going to happen. I think it's got a lot's got to go in his favor. And I don't think it's going to. So I'm going to take the other person in this matchup.
So, which is me. Do you have a score prediction?
95 to 90.
Okay, there we go. I also will take myself just because I haven't been swept as a pick yet. So That feels great. Here's Dempsey texting me now. He texted me, you probably thought I wouldn't switch my tight ends. You're absolutely right, Brian. But yeah, I'm going to take myself. I think we're going to stay on the horse.
Impeccable timing, Brian.
It's incredible. Right at the nick of time. But yeah, I think we're going to stay on the horse. It's going to be a close one, 98-96 in favor of me. And then I will take us to the next matchup, which is actually between the two eldest on the board or on the league. It's Joe versus Alex. If I can ever 9 versus 7. Alex is favored right now, or excuse me, Joe's favored right now, 105.6.
Some are calling it the social security battle.
Battle of the Boomers.
Battle of the Boomers, the social security showdown.
Oh yeah. Oh, all sorts of that. So Derrick Henry right now has Patrick Mahomes going up against Houston, which should be a great matchup. Zeke against the Jets, again, great matchup. Kelsey versus Houston, and Derrick Henry, the actual Derrick Henry, against Denver, which is all great. He's looking to get Kelsey in the end zone. He's only reached there one time other than this year. Now, on Scott Scott's side, he's really trying to bank in on some of that Fuller good coinage. He's got Phillip Rivers starting against Pittsburgh, so Pittsburgh's been stepping up their defense as of late, but I don't know how that's going to go. Michael Thomas against Jacksonville should have a good game. Melvin Gordon, let's see if he can return to form. Not so great last week. And if Devontae Adams can make it back in time for his Monday night showdown versus Detroit. In this game, I think Joe's going to win it 110-101 on the back of Robbie Gould, 4 missed field goals. Dan, or Cole, why don't you take us through your thought process?
In the Battle of the Senior Discount Bowl, I'm going to go with Alex. Reason being is sources close to the situation with Joe Fallon's team say that a majority of his time has been spent focusing on fantasy basketball as opposed to fantasy football, which, because of this, he may miss an important fact and miss somebody to start, leaning towards Alex taking the victory.
Okay. So, can I get a score?
101-89.
That's in favor of Alex, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Dan, thoughts?
Yeah, I hated everything Cole said. I actually
Obviously.
like Joe in this one, especially if Todd Gurley doesn't play and he gets to throw in Malcolm Brown there. But I like Joe regardless.
Hilarious fantasy move of the week is Joe dropped Malcolm Brown for I'm not totally sure who it was, and then immediately got him back on waivers. So good job, Joe, on foresight and then getting back onto it.
Yes, very smart by Joe. We should have taken a page out of his book. I like Joe this week to win. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a podcast. I like Joe to win this week. Give me 111.44 to 98.76.
97 point what?
98.46.
97.46. Okay, Dan, take us to the next one. It's the Battle of the Bernie's Boys. 10-point spread here. Brendan McNichol versus John Schmidt. What do you got? Dan?
Sorry,
Dan,
just hand-delivered funnel cake. Just hand-delivered funnel cake from the St. Dots Fair.
Oh, my God. You have sugar coating all over your beard now. Oh, wait. Everyone can see this. Obviously, that was a lie.
So, going to be a good matchup here. Favre's dick picks, obviously, defense is always stellar. Not the best this year. Sorry about that, buddy, but still a good one. I really like Brendan's team, though. Edelman's game already started. Now actually projected less points, 10.13 compared to 10.24. Even though that production went down, I believe Brendan's going to pull this one off with Carson and Cup, Jones, and Ryan all having good games. Give me Brendan 111.66 to John's 82.46.
111.268446. Okay. And Cole, thoughts?
I have no thoughts on this matchup.
You don't have a prediction, or am I going to just put NA on you?
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, so you get an NA. Cole refuses to even evaluate people outside of the St. Dodge Parish, which is totally respectable, and I can understand that. So, but in the battle of the Bernie's bitches, I'm going to take my good friend John Yellow Sunglasses Schmidt with an upset, of 98 to 87, taking down the Hoochie Coochies, put it in the books. So I'll take us through the next one as well. It's actually the ABA teammates. It's Chris versus Buck. Chris is favored right now 95.76 to 89.63. So he's got that just about 5.6 point spread going. Let me get to his matchup real quick, and I'll go through it with you. I know Buck is starting. Oh, big 2.5 points from Sony Michel already. They're down in the end zone. I'm loving it. But yes, down with the board. Chris's new name. Also, fuck you, Chris. Board is going to live forever. But Sausage Dip's got Adam Thielen looking to bounce back. He bounced back last week, but he's kind of trying to roll that forward. He's got Marquise Valdez-Scantling. I don't know. He's hoping that Devontae Adams holds out a little bit longer. And again, Eckler hoping Gordon is not as great as he was. And Lev Bell, who should just eat up every carry the Jets have. Stafford should look to perform against Green Bay, though. On Chris's side, he's got Kyler Murray versus Atlanta, so he's going to have a day. Amari Cooper, I didn't realize was the number 2 receiver on the season. So fuck you, Chris, for drafting him. Todd Gurley has thigh contusion, so watch out for that. And Alvin Kamara might struggle this week against Jacksonville. So let's see how they do in pulling him out. Oh my God. Chris is starting 2 Tampa Bay players. Two of them goosed him last week, Mike Evans and O.J. Howard. So I'm pretty sure Evans won't begin, but I'm 90% confident. Whatever Evans gives you positive, O.J. Howard's going to take away negative. I like Sausage Dip in this one. I'm going to give it to him. He's going to outperform 97-96 in favor of Buck. Cole?
I too like Sausage Dip. I feel like I've seen this movie before where Chris and Brendan start off the season kind of hot, kind of in the hunt, and then they get their hopes up, and then they're all like, yeah, high five me. And then they lose 5 straight, and they're out of the playoffs next thing you know it.
It's my favorite reoccurring theme, to be perfectly honest.
It's the same movie every year. I mean, I've seen it 100 times. I'll continue to watch it. I'll watch it the next 100 times.
I will. I love it.
I think at this point, Buck is probably going to take Chris this week, and it's going to begin the downward spiral that Chris typically experiences around this time of year, right on his way to about a 7-6 record. So I'm going to go with Buck.
Okay.
104 to, I think it's going to be close to 102.
Okay. And Dan, thoughts?
Buck wins 101.66 to, 26.
To 26? Okay. I think Dan's picked against Chris every week so far. It's partially why he's kind of losing the prediction challenge. But hey, Dan, stick to your morals, unlike Steve Kerr. Dan, Jack versus Bill. This is the biggest spread of the week at 113.94 to 96.71, just under 17 points. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Jack's defense he's starting this week in New England might just outscore the gruesome twosome in general.
There's a real shot.
Gruesome twosome's in for a tough week this week. I like Jack's team a lot. Lamar Jackson's going to go ballistic against Cincinnati. Although David Johnson might not play, he does have Chase Edmonds just in case.
Which is,
I think that'll be just all right. I wouldn't expect Aaron Jones to score 3 touchdowns, so I think it's a little bit of a down week for Jack this week, actually. Let's give him 101.06 to the gruesome twosome, who I think they're going to struggle this week. Hooper's going to have himself a nice game against Arizona, but other than that, I can't really see anyone on the team outside of Godwin, who's been electric, and probably Keenan Allen to have pretty good weeks. Go with 78.76.
Okay. Cole, score?
I don't pay much attention to the projection tabs on the Yahoo Fantasy Sports app. They're often not correct. And I think in this particular situation, they're going to be not correct again. I think the G-some-T-some is going to take down Jack's team in glorious bounce-back fashion by a score of 89 to 84.
That's in favor of Bill. Okay. Wow. Low score for Jack. Almost 40 points below his weekly average. So we'll see if that holds up. I can't bet against Jack. And I have a little vengeance against Gruesome Twosome for talking all that shit. I think it's going to be about 137 to – I do like his team, though. I will admit. I think Godwin's going to have a good game. Mark Ingram's going to tear up Cincinnati. And I think Breida's going to run all over the Rams. But I think it's going to be high-scoring affair. Another Big Ten shootout that he loses, 137 to 129. And finally, the last game of the week. The two co-hosts of mine are facing each other. Right now, Cole, I don't remember what Electric Slide over Team Puppet Suds, 98.31 to 89.78, just under a 10-point spread. I think the game's going to be a little bit closer than that. It's the battle for – can Cole get back into 500, and can Dan turn his season around? Someone who's guaranteed that he will be having 11 straight wins, which includes the championship, might I add, if I was counting correctly.
You were.
Thank you. Big pickup of the week for Dan. Everett from the Rams, the tight end. I had my waiver claim in for him, so fuck you. Let's see if is Woods. I thought Woods had a concussion, or is that Cooks?
Cooks does.
Cooks. Apologies. Carry on should have a great game against Green Bay. They just keep feeding him. Royce Freeman, I think, is going to struggle mightily against Tennessee. Robert Woods should see some work if Cooks is out. They're probably going to run a lot of 12 set, though. I think Terry McLaurin's going to have a great game. Unless they get out early and on top, then they're just going to run the ball. Aaron Rodgers will struggle against Detroit. I feel that within my bones. Russell Wilson for Electric Slide is going to go off. 22 is too low. I think he's going to have closer to 30. Currently, you have two Philadelphia Eagles against Minnesota, one Jordan Howard, one Zach Ertz. I think one will perform. I don't think both will. McCaffrey against Tampa Bay. I don't know why, but it feels like Tampa Bay always plays Carolina real tough. I think in the beginning of the year, when they played him, Tampa Bay won, and McCaffrey only had 5.3 points. So this 18.81, I think he's still going to have a very good 12-point week, but there's no way he could live up to that 18.81. However, that is the early game in London now that I'm thinking about it, right?
Yes.
So all bets are off with all those crazy Brits over there. I'm going to take Puppet Suds, turn the season around, 99 to 72. Dan, thoughts?
Yeah, Sam, honestly, couldn't have said it better myself. Don't get me wrong, not thrilled about having to start Royce Freeman.
No, no one is.
Not happy about it, but if you look at the bench, Montgomery on a bye, Saquon out, Darrell
Have
Williams.
You've been the most affected, it feels like, by the bye, or at least you talk about it the most at the very least.
I had two on a bye last week that really could have helped me, and I only ended up losing by like 12 or 14 or something like that. Galladay and Johnson. So, I mean, the buys hurt me early, and then Saquon, the injury. But, hey, I don't have a very good team regardless of who I put out there, let's be honest. I agree with everything you said, though, Sam. I think if you're going to play McCaffrey, hopefully this is the week. Like you said, I think he's still going to have a big week, a good week, but not his 33-point week. Tampa Bay plays the run well, but that doesn't mean McCaffrey can't get out in space and catch the ball. So we'll see if he breaks one off. Russell Wilson's going to go off, but I actually don't like the Eagles against Minnesota. So I'm clearly going to pick myself this week. I'm going to go with myself winning 110.64 to 104.66. And let me just say this because I want to put it on the record. I was highly considering a kicker change this week.
Oh, wow.
And,
Really?
If the kicker I was going to pick up goes off, I will be very upset. And that was Matt Prater. So just letting you all know, I want to put that on the record.
It's on the record. Thank you. Cole, thoughts?
I mean, there was a very good chance that I accidentally didn't start someone on a bye this week or did start someone on a bye because I honestly clicked right past this week. I just counted this as a win.
Oh, yeah.
So
Best 2 and 3 team ever.
I've just been looking at week 7. I've been overlooking Pup and Suds.
Disrespect.
Since the schedule came out, since the draft, actually, I haven't even really looked at. Couldn't even tell you a single player if you didn't read them off prior to asking me my.
You absolutely know I had Saquon on my team. You fucking idiot.
I didn't even remember he had Saquon on his team. Just it's a real shame though that he got injured and took him first overall, and I had McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's just been a stud. It's a real shame that he's got to look at his team every single day and think, man, I could have had him.
I actually don't think that at all, to be completely honest with you.
No, but it's just got to really hurt you, and I can tell.
No, it doesn't at all, actually. Wasn't considering McCaffrey.
I can hear it in your voice. It's just got to be it's so sad. I know that you get upset about it, so I'm sorry for bringing it up. Anyway, I'm going to take myself I think it's going to be a blowout. I think Pup and Suds maybe 70, 71 to at a normal average week for me about 110.
110 to 71. Okay. There it is. Okay. So last week, Dan and I both went 3-2-1. Actually, Billy went 3-2-1 as well, bringing Dan's record to 11-12-1, mine to 13-10-1. Jack went 4-1-1. By the way, I'm counting the tie as a push. I don't give a shit. That's my personal ego. But Jack's currently 8-9-1, which is, I believe, a better percentage than Dan, but I have to check the info on that for sure. But that's all we got. Cole, closing remarks. You have anything to say? Leave the league with your special brand of shit talk, and we'll go from there.
Nope, but be on the lookout for the first investigative report from the magazine, Sam's League Mag. Sometime
Chinese People Weekly?
Breaking news.
Sorry.
Breaking news. Chris Goggin has changed his team name.
Dan, we've been talking about it all night.
I didn't see it. Down with the board. I hate him.
I know. Okay. Back to your closing comments, Dan, or Cole.
That's all. Just be on the lookout for an investigative report into, I won't say what the topic is, but I'll say that the topic is about the league board.
I think that's the only investigative journalism that ever gets done for Chinese People Weekly. So looking forward to another slanderous article.
It's a rebrand. It is Sam's League Magazine. We are no longer under that title. That is problematic.
It's not problematic. Chinese people is a description of a nation of just prosperous, loving communists, excuse me. But that's all I got. Dan, do you have anything? Let's wrap this up. We're going on 33 minutes here.
All good.
Okay. We'll see everyone next week. Have a good week. Except for Dempsey. Start your injured tight end. Thank you. Later.